Instagram, everybody's on Instagram, and Instagram is the place to be. But how do you show up and show up strongly on Instagram, especially if you're a business person? This series is looking at Instagram for business. We're looking at question and answers, Instagram content creation strategies, and of course, tools that you can use for your Instagram posting. Watch it and let me know how you feel. And finally, subscribe.
And so Asuko asks a question. And so we're just going to take that question. Asuko says that he offers a lot of services and he runs 2 Instagram business pages plus his personal page. So that means that he's running 3 pages. One is his personal page. One is his, the other 2 are his business pages. He says that, and he churns out content and also manages his personal page. So how does he manage these aspects more efficiently? So the first thing is, are these 2 businesses connected? That's my first question. If your 2 businesses are connected, then are you cross-posting? Right? I know about one of the business pages, which is the one that you use for teacher professional development. I know about that one. I'm not certain that I know about the second one. Then, of course, I know this is your personal page. So if you have 2 business pages, right, are they divergent businesses? Are they businesses that don't connect? If they connect, then maybe you want to ask yourself, do I really need 2 business pages, right? But again, if they're not things that don't connect, then perhaps you need 2. So that's my first question for you. Can you tell us if these 2 businesses, do they connect? Are they the same business? Are they different business? What are the 2 business pages? Now, if you're asking about management, something that I do when I'm creating content is that I have a block of time where I create content. Right? Usually it's Saturday, sometimes it's Mondays, crazy as it might sound. But I use a lot of my Mondays to create content. I just schedule it, right? But before I create content, I have a book and I have my phone. So those are tools. So if I'm in a room, for example, and somebody is saying something, or I'm in the car driving up somewhere, or I'm reading a book, and I read a lot of ebooks these days. I would copy that thing that pulls at me, and I will post it in so I have a part of my phone, it's stickers. So they're content creation stickers for me. And I post it there and I write out immediately what I think about it. So that helps me in terms of my content creation. So I'm not always struggling for content, right? Because once I see something that resonates with me, something I know that I can talk about, I post it down. And that's for my personal brand. For the school brand, we have people who manage those other brands. So they sit down and they create that content. So if both of them are in the education space, my question is, why do you feel the need that you need to separate them? Because what is happening is that when you have the same thing dealing with 2 different things dealing with one thing, it waters down the quality of content, because that is you that is trying to produce in 2 different places, especially if they're both in the education sector. So let me give an example with my business. I have Busy Minds College, I have Busy Minds Primary School. We kind of removed, we separated these 2 because one is for secondary school. They're also in 2 different locations, right? And so that's why we did what we did with that. Okay, and because we are growing the secondary school brand, so what we do is that we cross post. So sometimes you would find a post on college and you find it on primary as well. We're cross posting. We also use a lot of user generated content. So that's something that we do as well. And again, it's just to build our content generation strategy so that we're sure there's always something to post, because it is difficult. Okay, so Asukwa says that they're both in the education space. And guys, if you're on this session and you have advice for Asukwa, please drop it in the comment section. He is reading such that he can actually also get real good value, even if he cannot be with me right now because he's in transit. So he says that one is for professional teachers development and the other is for consultancy business, where he offers several other schooling and learning services. So the reality, right, is, so you can keep them separate, or you can actually use the content you're using for your teacher professional development. Typically, that's social proof, right? So if I've taught a teacher, that's social proof for me, and I can use that social proof in my consultancy business, because guess what? I'm talking about how people connected with my brand, what I did for them, what it was that they couldn't do when they met with my brand, what they could do. So that in itself is consultancy, right? Because people need that social proof to want you to consult for them, right? So I would say that maybe you want to think about merging both, because your consultancy kind of covers your teacher development. Okay, and that way you actually are creating something really strong. And all of that content is, because all of it, to be honest with you, if you look at the consultancy, what are the different levels of content consultancy? What are you doing in your consultancy? Beyond just um so you say that your consultancy business, where you offer several other school and learning services. School and learning services is professional, is teacher professional development. That's part of it, right? So take the umbrella of your consultancy and ask yourself, what are the different things that I do as a consultant? What are the things that you do as a consultant, that I do as a consultant? Is coaching, is teacher training as well, not just training for teachers, but for business leaders as well, for individuals too who are struggling with their startups and they're not sure what to do. So that's something you can do. And somebody gave you advice actually. Okay, so Adewumi Felix says that she had to initially, but she's really merging them together because meeting up will be difficult. So that's something maybe you want to think about. And when you look at the block, right? When you look at the block, when you talk about consultancy, part of what are the things that you do under consultancy. So I will advise that you actually list out, I'm sorry about that. I will advise that you actually list out the services that you provide under consultancy. Be very clear, and also be very clear about your target audience. So who are your target audience in terms of what you are teaching? Is it new schools or new teachers? So when you are that clear about who your target market is, you will find that you are watering down your content by posting in two places. And if you keep cross-posting, then why do you have two? Because the time and energy that you would use in cross-posting, you could actually be creating much more in the one and making it deeper, making it broader, making the people that are on there get so much value from you in your consultancy business. Right? And so my question again is, as a personal brand, what is different again in the things that you do? So let me give you an example with myself, right? Like I told you guys, I have the school, but beyond the school, we also have a teacher training institute, which we train. So that's the BEC. And that's an arm of the business we're going to eventually cut off from the school. But right now it is under the school. Beyond that, for me, KK, right? I have my consultancy business, right? I have my coaching business, right? I have something called the Business Protocol. It is an Instagram page. So Business Protocol is where I share a lot of business advice. Once in a while, I talk about it on my personal page, but on the Business Protocol, that's all that I talk about. So you won't go on the Business Protocol and you don't get business advice. All the time, I'm talking business advice. But on my personal page, guess what? It is my connection page. So that takes me to 4 types of content you should be posting on any social media content. You should be posting value, which is like teaching. When you're teaching somebody, that is one content you should be posting. The second type of content you should be posting are motivational. So motivation, inspiration, that's the second type of content. The third type of content is connection content, right? Where you see me dancing on my reels, all of that is connection. It's connecting you to my brand, to my person. The fourth content are your sales content. That's your salesy content, 4 content. So you should have those 4 pillars of content for any business you have, on anything, on your website, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on anything. You should have those 4: value, education, motivational, which is, you can put a quote or something like that, sales, and then connection, right? So when you think about it, my personal page is mostly connection. So if you want to connect with Okeyinfu Ajayi, go on her personal page, you will find it there. And sometimes I actually take off content from my personal page and post it on, sometimes the team as well does that. Sorry guys, I'm sweating, but if I put on, we don't have the honesty, we want to manage the money, our money, for instant money can go high. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So if you want to connect with me, then you can come on my personal page and you will see me there. And sometimes we take off content from my personal page and put it on some of these other pages, just so that people can connect with me, right? So that's something that you need to be thinking about. That's something you need to be doing, right? And just think about it. I'm not saying jump on it, just think about it, just so that you're not watering down from the 90s. I cannot carry fun and start to farm myself. So let me tell you why I'm swerving like this, so that you understand. All right. So it's really important that you kind of break it down like that. And that way it's easy. So let me go back to the content blocks that I was talking about, right? So you should, when you talk about your creation block, so these are, we're talking about creation. And to make it easy for you, so one tool I use, the Asukwa, is, and this was given to me by Daisy, my darling. She's like my darling sister. So Daisy gave me this. It's Facebook Creator Studio. Facebook Creator Studio is fantastic. Fantastic. And it's on Facebook. You can download the app, but I use my laptop when I'm doing it. Because remember, I have blocks of time where I create content. Okay? And I will turn my camera and show you guys what I'm doing so that you can see this very quickly as well. So when I talk to you about content creation pillars, the 4 content creation pillars, remember I told you guys about that. So you're looking at value or teaching, motivation, connection, and of course, sales. Okay? So those are the ways. But at the end of the day, right, what you're trying to do is move people along the 3 prongs of so sales. Getting a sale at the end of the day actually follows 3 different prongs, right? It's like a 3-step process. The first step is know you, and I'm sure you've heard this before. People need to know you. They need to connect with who you are. They need to understand who you are, what you're about. Why? People buy from people. Okay? Why do you think Richard Branson talks about himself, or Bill Gates, or anybody who has a business? They have a personal brand as well, and they push that personal brand because it creates authenticity for their business. Okay, so that's something that is really, really interesting. And so that's why there is the connection posts, right? So there is know you. When they know you, people then decide, do I like this person? When they like you, then they trust you. When they trust you, bingo, you've made a sale. You've made a convert from that lead that you have. Okay, so it's always important that you take people through those 3 stages, really, of the customer journey to sale. So they need to know you, they need to like you, and then they will trust you. And doing videos helps. That's why we say for people that are coaches, consultants, and stuff like that, you want to be doing videos, because in doing videos, people can connect with you. It can be audio as well, but kind of try and do some videos, because it kind of keeps people connected with you and connecting with you. So now let's look at the content creation blocks. So when you look at the content creation blocks, I talked about how. I just want to number them. So I can't number them right now. My laptop is being interesting. So I'm just going to talk to you about how. I've talked about how, right? The how is inspiring, is getting them to take a deeper look at different things. Then you want to talk about what. So how, what, why, who, when, where. So your WH questions plus how. Really interesting. So when you talk about how do you feel when people are unable to receive their goods on time? That's for a logistics-based business, for example. You want to ask your customers how they feel. How do you feel when you have struggled to make that dress, and then you give it to a logistics rider and they can't deliver? You can feel the person's frustration. That's how. Yeah, how. And once you've connected with how they feel, they want to connect with, can you do this for me? Okay, then what? What do you do when that happens? That's a what. What do you do when you are looking for somebody to help you with a recipe for a meal that you need to cook? What do you do? What do you do when you are unable? So what? You can create content around what. You can also create content around why. Why do you keep struggling in the kitchen when there is help for you out there? Why do you keep struggling with handwriting for your child when you are unable to provide the service and the help and the support that child needs? That is your why. You're asking them why, and you can create tons and tons and tons of content around why. Why do you think I like jumping and dancing like this? That's a connection post, right? Now let's look at who. Who under your motivation post? Who would have imagined that I will be standing here today? You don't understand how difficult it is for me to stand in front of the camera. That's what? Who? And you can use that as a motivation post. So remember the 4 content pillars and then 4 content strategy, okay? Or blocks. And then you look at when. When, again, is something you can use in creating content. And you can either ask a question, you can, whatever it is that you want to do is fine, but you can use those as your blocks for creating content, okay? And then, of course, where. Okay, so those are things that you can use in creating your content. But the first thing you need to understand for Instagram for business is that it is a business. And you need to show up and you need to be consistent. If you want to use Instagram for business, you must show up, you must be consistent. If you're not showing up and you're not consistent, you would lose people because they just can't trust you. And once people can't trust you, it then becomes a problem in itself. So you do want people to be able to trust you. You don't have to post every day, I keep saying that. But when you show up strongly. When you show up, give people a reason to click. Give people a reason to stop and take notice. That is really important when you're talking about Instagram for business, because it is not a joke, right? People who know that you are a business person are connecting with you on the basis of that. And so if they're connecting with you on the basis of that, it takes me to the final thing that we're going to talk about today. What are your values as a business? Do you have values as a business? If you do, what are they? How can you get people to connect with your business based on your values? Do you believe that that's not important? It is. But it starts with you defining your values. So as a business, you need to define your values. Because in defining your values, all this content creation I've been talking about, it aligns with your value system. Once again, think about what your values are, okay? And then if you're a business, are you using a business account or a creator account? Now, those two are very different. So Facebook Creator Studio, how does it work? You know, all these scheduling tools. So the scheduling tools, people use a lot of scheduling tools to schedule their Instagram posts. After they post, they've created the post, then they schedule them per day, per hour, per week. You know, they schedule all those posts and they go automatically. So Facebook Creator Studio is a free tool, free. And it posts automatically. So a lot of these other tools that you use for scheduling, you have to pay to get the one that posts automatically. But Facebook Creator Studio is not like that. Once you post it and you schedule, so you can schedule it. So let me pull it up, and then I'll flip the camera and take you guys there so you can take a look. So I'm gonna flip. How do I flip my camera? Okay, found it. Okay, so I'm gonna ignore everything else when I flip the camera. All you need to be looking at is my Facebook Creator Studio. Don't look at any other thing. Do like this. So this is yeah. Okay, guys, sorry if I'm turning this upside down, but that's the better. So this is Facebook Creator Studio. You can look at that, right? Now, I have all these profiles on Facebook Creator Studio, right? All of this. I don't use all of them, but I do have them on Facebook Creator Studio. And if you want to create a post, so let me take this out, excuse me. If you want to create a post, what you do is just create a post. And it can be Instagram, it can be IGTV. If it's Instagram, and it's spinning around and around, and it takes you here. And so you choose what, oh, shoot. So that just went off because I'm trying to, okay, so you then choose which one you want to post on. So I can choose Okeyinfu Ajayi, it brings me here. And so I then do add content from where? From Facebook page or from a file. So I can then go to my files, right? And usually when I create content, I put them in my downloads. So you can see this picture that I did, right? Aha. So that's one content. And I can simply take that and click open. It goes right there. I can type in my caption here, put in whatever hashtags I need, and I come down here. If I click publish, it will go automatically. But I don't want to publish it, so I'll go to schedule. Now if you click schedule, look at that. You can then click and find your date, right? So you can choose your date and you can choose the time that you want it to go. And once you do that, it automatically goes. So what you need to do, how do you get to Facebook Creator Studio? If you have a Facebook page, all you need to do is click. Why is this my hair looking scattered like this? I can't even understand. Oh, next time I'll be a full babe. How do you get to Facebook Creator Studio? If you go to if you are on Facebook, if you have a Facebook account, you go to Facebook. Once you go to the Facebook account, just type Facebook Creator Studio. Once you type Facebook Creator Studio, it will bring out all sorts of things, right? There's a verified one. Click on that verified one. Once you do that, from there, to be honest with you, you can create your own Facebook Creator Studio, and then you can start to use it. Yeah, wow. And it's that easy. You can add on like 100 accounts, and you can post to both Facebook and Instagram. Right, so that's why sometimes you will be wondering whether I'm superwoman. I'm not superwoman. I just know how to work smart. But I've worked really hard to understand how to work smart. So I know all the different places that I can go to make my job easier for me, but I get the job done. Right, so that's something that you can use. You can use Facebook Creator Studio. You just schedule all the posts. You don't even need to go back there. It would post automatically for you, automatically. And it's beautiful, right? It really does work. It does help. So that's something that you can do, and it helps you stay consistent in your business as a business page. If you also want to arrange those businesses, people that do light, dark, light, dark, picture, quote, picture, mwah, happy birthday. You can do all of that with Facebook Creator Studio. You can just look at it. Let me show you guys something else that I do in terms of my using Instagram for business and just making sure that I show up. I just want to show you something. I'll show it to you. I'm just looking for it. I always have so many documents open, right? It's ridiculous sometimes. Okay, found it. Okay, so let me show this to you guys as well. Okay, so let me show you what I do, guys. So I'm just gonna turn this again. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's upside down again. So this is me actually creating. So this is on the business protocol because I handle the business. Well, I don't handle it by myself actually. My PA also handles it with me, but a lot of the time, There's something I'm trying, so I'm doing it right now. She'll create the content, send it to me, and I'll just post it. So this is something that I do. You see, I put it by the dates, right? And I've done dark video, light, dark, video, light, dark. So I've planned for the week. Look, this is the week of the 25th. Can you see that? Company profile. That's what I'm going to be talking about on Business Protocol. This week, I'm going to be talking about workers, marketing, productivity, and automation, websites, and apps. So I actually have all those things that I've actually created. They're my content. So I have a content strategy, right? And you need to have a content strategy as a business. So Facebook Creator Studio works everywhere. And I almost pulled my my phone almost fell. Oh my God, did you guys hear the way I screamed? I screamed like a girl. I'm too playful. I need to not be so playful. Now I'm serious. Yeah, nah, ain't me. Okay, so I create. I know. So I create. So I've shown you my content blocks, right? I've told you what I do. There's the how, there, all of those things. I actually plan it. So I don't just sit there and just post. No, I plan it and then we put it on Facebook Creator Studio and it goes. So you can use Facebook Creator Studio everywhere. You just need to download the app, Facebook Creator Studio app. But I kind of prefer the one on the laptop because honestly it's easier to use. It does work. So I honestly prefer to use the laptop because it's a bit more versatile. It's just a little easier. You know, with apps, right? There's some things that you kind of have to adapt it to it, right? So for me now on the one on the laptop, I can do so many things. So I would say that if you have a day that you can chunk apart as your content creation day, then what you can do is actually just create that content on that day and just sit with it and post them all, okay? And that really, really helps. So that has been Instagram for Business for today. And I really, really enjoyed having everybody on here. We'll be back again.
That was really good, right? You want to subscribe to this channel. You want to tell somebody about this channel. You want to like and you want to leave a comment. And guess what? There's more coming. So yes, you do need to subscribe. I'll catch you around. Bye.